Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was home in the state over the 4th of July recess and had the opportunity to spend a little bit of time on the Kuskokwim River. I was going out looking at, talking to individuals in their fish camps about what's happening with fishing, price of fuel, and what that means to them in their villages. And it was just after the spring barge had come and delivered fuel. If you live on the Kuskokwim, you get 2 fuel deliveries a year. You get one in the spring, which is June, and you get one in September, provided that you can get upriver. Sometimes you can only get 1 barge in. But basically, your price for fuel is set when those purchases are made. And everyone in the village, it's not like there's any competition out there. It is what it is. And when you're in Bethel, which is the big hub community, paying over $5 a gallon for your fuel, when the barge comes in, you're hoping that it's going to go down. Well, the prices didn't go down. They went up 20 cents. So on Monday, you're sitting at $5.15, and on Tuesday, you're sitting at $5.35 for the balance of the summer with no relief in sight. You go upriver to Antioch, and they were hit with a 20-cent increase in their fuel for the summer. You go 10 miles upriver to Chwathbuk, and there's no fuel. There is just no fuel. You want fuel for your boat. You borrow some fuel from your neighbor, and you go downriver to Antioch, and it's about a $50 run for that 10 miles. So in my home state, when we're talking about gas prices, it's real, it's immediate, it directs and it dictates how you live and what it is that you do. So I appreciate the opportunity for good discussion on this and really how we deal with this from a policy perspective. I appreciate, Mr. Chairman, your approach on the basic structure for this hearing. I'm optimistic that our decision to look not just at gasoline prices, but a whole range of factors that could be influencing them will be helpful to us in our policy-making options. Let me also welcome our distinguished panel this morning. I know you will provide us with valuable perspective on what it takes to recover, to refine, and to retail our nation's transportation fuels. It's hard to believe that it's now been 5 years, almost to the day, Mr. Chairman, since the price of oil rose to an all-time high of $1.47 a barrel. We're down from that, thankfully, but still. $147 a barrel 5 years ago. It's almost equally hard to believe how much has changed since then. One of the brightest spots in our entire economy has been and continues to be energy production on state and on private lands. After years of listening to critics contend that the U.S. is running out of oil, domestic production has risen by 30% over these past 5 years. It's created thousands and thousands of jobs, generated substantial revenues, slashed our OPEC imports. According to a recent analysis by the Wall Street Journal, it has helped reduce volatility in world oil prices, and while it's difficult to measure the precise benefit, I believe that rising American production has reduced, or at the very least restrained, some of what we're seeing in terms of prices at the pump. Now, one downside is that production on federal lands has not kept pace. It actually fell in both 2011 and 2012, and I think that that represents a huge missed opportunity. And all you need to do is look to my state of Alaska. We've got more untapped oil than any other state. We've got broad public support for new production. We've got a major pipeline that is sitting at less than half full. All we're asking for is permission to produce our resources, but we haven't been able to secure that at this point in time. Now, outside of production, I think there are some other factors that are worthy of consideration. I look forward to discussion of transportation and infrastructure constraints and learning what we can do to help resolve those. I'm glad we're going to have a chance to hear about the importance of a robust refining sector. I'm eager to examine some of the regulations that could be impacting our fuel supply, particularly the renewable fuel standards, which I think that Congress needs to reform. Mr. Chairman, I continue to believe that we need to take every step possible to reduce and stabilize fuel prices for American families and for our businesses, but that's going to include increasing production on federal lands, increasing the efficiency of our vehicles, and increasing the use of alternatives. It will mean rejecting rather than seeking punitive tax hikes. It will require the timely approval of needed projects, including the Keystone XL pipeline, and the prompt adjustment of any regulation that comes in conflict with our desire for abundant and affordable energy. So again, I look forward to the witnesses' testimony here this morning and the questions that we'll be able to pose afterwards. Thank you.